What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our post show for AEW's first ever inaugural World's End pay per view. We had amazing moments, and we had probably one of the most interesting endings to an AEW pay per view in a long, long time. You got me, Donovan, you got Chris. It was a hell of a pay per view, dude.
Yeah, it was. I'm still trying to process that ending. Like
The ending
that's
overall, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, you could clearly tell it's going to be this. Well, maybe we didn't want to. Maybe we thought something unique,
yeah.
something wonderful, something cool in the world of wrestling, and we didn't get that. We got what we thought, except Wardlow. Wardlow lied to me on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm
he did.
I'm not a Wardlow fan right now. He lied. We're supposed to be on vacation, dog, not beating up MJF in Nassau Coliseum. But I digress. We'll get to it when we get to it. Overall, how'd you feel about this whole pay-per-view?
I liked it. It had its ups and its downs.
Time in the ring.
Match of the night, Edge, Christian for me. Let me get that out of the way.
So
Match of the night.
do you wanna talk about like all the little like callbacks in that match?
We'll get to it when we'll get to it.
Okay. So
So
Matt, our pay-per-view opens. It's the All-Star 8-man tag team match. That was I wouldn't say it was match of the night or anything. It was pretty cool. I mean, you have like some of your top talent all competing in an 8-man match. So, I mean, what really more can you expect other than a really good just showcase, but nothing crazy. And it didn't.
the people in the classic all got a spotlight at the pay-per-view because they did put on a good show leading up to it. So
Yeah.
it was good, but it was still kind of weird because you have like all four people on the heel side just like they're all a part of a faction, but they're all not the faction themselves.
Yeah. Because you
So
had Bullet Club, My World, Invulnerable, and House of Black on one side.
yeah,
And then you
but good
had
match. Good match.
the baby faces, which was Claudio and Brian, Daniel Garcia, and Briscoe, all on the baby face side. So it was a good match overall. Not like just it wasn't anything insane. And then we get into the second match of the night, which was Andrade El Idolo versus the Redeemer Miro, with also hot and flexible CJ Perry making the appearance as Andrade's
Valet
valet. I
manager.
was thinking of the word valet, and
It's
then
manager, I think.
yeah, ultimately turning against Andrade, which was I didn't think that was going to happen yet. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't think yet.
So
So
it was in due part to I want to speculate that it was in due part to
her
the
accident,
whole accident
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
Kayfabe was killed at that point.
I
Um,
firmly believed it was killed. I was like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Raiden, what's up? So overall, I can't really say that there was a whole lot of bad or good in that match. It just was like the kind of like the filler, like, oh yeah, you need to go and take a piss or go get a snack or go pick up a
Hmm.
t-shirt that you didn't get to before the show started. That was kind of that match. And then after that, what was that? It was the women's match, no? Tony Storm?
Uh it was Tony Storm versus Rio.
Do you
Yes.
have the match card up?
Yes,
Okay, so it was
I
Tony
do.
Storm versus Rio. Uh I liked it. I wouldn't say it's her best defense.
It was kind of wobbly at times, especially with the finish of the match with that last move. it was kind of shoddy. It still looked good, but it was kind of shoddy, you know?
Yeah. Well, when Tony Storm is lifting her opponent light as a feather the entire time. Rico. Tony versus Rico was good. What Morgan put. She said Tony versus
Rico?
Rico.
Damn. I didn't know Billy and Chuck were still a thing.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Rico with
So
that
I don't
roundhouse
know. I
kick.
wouldn't say it was like, oh my god, oh shit, dude, we need to use this as an example for wrestling. I wouldn't say that at
No,
all.
it's it was good for it being the more workhorsey of the two women's matches. It was probably better between the two women's matches. The better one of the two. So
As okay,
I I'm just putting that out there. That's my thing. So
yeah. So then we'll get into it. Was it the 8-man with Jericho,
no, it
Guevara?
was Swerve and Dustin Rhodes after
Oh,
Timeless Tony Storm.
okay. So it was basically Swerve being a complete monster
Hmm.
for the better part of that match,
So
and
let
I
me kind of break down what I felt about this match because there was a lot of like, oh yeah, end it now, and give the other two matches, you know,
yeah.
like the first 5 minutes, yeah, good, like just make them look like a goddamn killer. What would I say? Put down Old Yeller, yeah,
But yeah, that's all you kept saying was
yeah,
put down
yeah.
Old Yeller.
I love you, Dustin, but yeah,
We
yeah,
we
you
would love to have
chose.
you on, but bro, I'm sorry, dude. You were nowhere ready for that
Yeah,
match.
white hot.
It
Much
was
love. But and then after that 5 minutes, it got kind of like weird. I'm like, why are you still going with this? And then
why
it got justifiable when Dustin did the fire back and spit it in his face and was just like, yeah,
bro, when he
Dunzo.
grabbed it, when he looked and he went and like kind of just chucked it back, I was like, "Oh, we're going to see a murder here. We are going to
Yeah.
see an absolute just decimation of Dustin." I wasn't ready for that. And I don't know
Yep.
why like they chose Dustin Rhodes to
Well,
be
because of the limitless tag team.
the naturally limitless is why
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the caveat for Keith
Dustin
Lee.
to step in. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. We couldn't have had like Lee Johnson or something. We had to have Dustin, but all right. Whatever. I'll agree with it. Swerve
And
is
then the
ready for that.
Nana.
Bro, we
Can't
were
forget
all
the Nana.
nanaing. We were all
Yes.
nanaing. I think overall, Swerve is ready for a title shot, and I hope that it's at Revolution. I really do hope that it's at Revolution.
Yeah. He deserves a title shot against him. I don't know, but next match is Sex Gods versus Sex Gods, Darby Allin and Sting versus Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and the Don Callis family.
Okay. So we were talking so much shit when everybody was coming out. And to a point, Konosuke Takeshita should have been the man to get the pin. Like he showcased the best. Yeah, okay, so Powerhouse Hobbs is just big. I don't think that counts. And Big Bill is just big. Again, I don't think that counts. Sting is ready to retire. Darby Allin was just the punching bag. Sammy Guevara was still trying to get back into the swing of things after him and Ty just welcomed their new baby into the world. Jericho almost died multiple times. I think the real winner should have been Konosuke Takeshita. That's all I have to say on that one, dude. I don't have a lot of good things to say about that match.
I liked it, but to me, it felt like the restroom match. To me,
Yeah,
like it's like cool, Darby Allin Sting again in some random feud, you know.
bro. So
And then it's Jericho involved too, and it's like, I like him, but he's not. He is kind of like
He's getting up there.
he's getting there,
And
and
so my thing is like this is the second pay-per-view Jericho match, tag team match that has been the bathroom match in a
mhm,
row because Full
yeah,
Gear was the Golden Jets versus the Bucks, and we all admitted it. That was the bathroom match going into the main event, which would be MJF versus Jay White. And now it was like, oh my God, we got this giant ass tag team match and not really any like burn off. No momentum.
and they were keeping with the theme of having like uh Daniel Garcia take the pin and get the win, and like Eddie Kingston, which is another match later down the line, but
And then
like
Hook got the
Hook
win.
got the win
Hook
in
got
the
the win.
in the 0 hour. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, you're gonna see like Big Bill get the win, maybe. So I was kind of gonna
Oh,
expecting that
yeah.
for Big Bill to get the win for the tag team champions because they
Yeah.
should be winning.
And instead it's the boy from Houston, Sammy Guevara, that got it.
Yeah.
But
So but
leading
that
on
one
to
was
the
still
next
okay.
one, which
Julia
was
Hart versus Abaddon.
which is the weirdest stipulation I've heard in a long time. It was a House of Rules match, which means that Abaddon was able to choose the stipulation. And now, most of the time, people would be like, okay, submission, no disqualification, lumberjack, something like that. That would be like, okay, this is my advantage. The stipulation was probably the grossest thing I've ever seen, and I like watching deathmatch wrestling. It was you can bite, and
It
there were
was
only
so weird.
two bites the entire time, and it was to each of Julia's forearms.
It was so weird and dumb. Like, but I guess technically Abaddon isn't living nor dead.
So is she like a? So is it like Abaddon's a
So she
zombie?
clearly didn't have a brain to cognitively think of a greater stipulation. So,
I know. I was like,
like,
I don't like that. I didn't like it. I was like,
or she was like in like wooed or like persuaded by Julia Hart's weird black magic thing. Like maybe that I'm trying
bite
to
me
give it an
hard.
explanation.
I don't know. Like, there's no explanation
Like,
to
and I don't
this.
want to hate on the match. It was still a good match, but like it was probably closer to a normal
Collision
like
match.
not yeah, collision
It was
match.
like a
I'd say.
collision match. It
So
was it was a collision match, and then we got the announcement. We will have uh, Darius Martin versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship on Wednesday. That is the first match announced for Dynamite 2024. I'm very excited. I think that'll be a banger of a match.
mhm.
Cool to see Darius Martin getting back into it, getting back into the fold after the horrible injury that happened a long time ago during Ring of Honor. But ultimately, that's the first match for AEW Dynamite 2024.
Yep.
Then we'll get into the best match of the night, like
It
hands down.
was.
I will fist fight anybody that says that it wasn't, because it had storytelling, it had callbacks, it was extreme when
You
it
had
needed to be.
two legends of the game just going at it, and it was so good. So
So
good.
somebody was saying that there were three callbacks. I couldn't figure out which one was the Eddie versus Edge match callback.
Hmm.
And then they said WrestleMania 22. And then they said New Year's Revolution when he cashed in on Cena.
Yeah. Yeah. When he cashed in.
So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I loved it. I loved the gear. You popped for the gear.
Yes. Before they pointed it out,
You were like, he's wearing the pants.
I knew that WrestleMania match from I watched that McFoley match from front to back, and that gear is iconic for that match. So, and the table spot.
Even though this time the table spot didn't go
Completely as planned.
quite as planned, but but like Nick Wayne's like 150 pounds, so he flew basically.
Well, no, he got power bombed on the padding on the floor.
Yeah,
So, like, it's
he
not like it wasn't not a bad fall, but it should have been through a fiery table, and
yeah he went
you
through the
know,
fire. He just didn't go completely through the fire, but he went through the fire. A
so
100%. I think. So if you guys see us like looking to the side, we're trying to see what, at least on my end, what MJF announces for contract wise, because tomorrow, if he doesn't resign tomorrow at 11:59 Eastern time, he will officially become the hottest free agent in professional wrestling, which means he
he
can go
will.
anywhere.
The bidding war of 2024 starts.
And so I'm kind of like waiting to see like if Fightful, if Tony Khan himself, um,
So
we'll get into it.
after the first AEW TNT Championship match was the second one. So for anyone who isn't aware, Killswitch, formerly known as Luchasaurus, won a what is it?
He won a battle royal. Like
Yeah,
he won a battle royal.
and it basically gives them a chance to cash in, quote unquote, on a championship anytime, any place, or TNT Championship specific, wasn't it?
No, yeah, no, it was only for the TNT. It was basically money in the bank for TNT
Yeah,
for the TNT
yeah.
title.
And so Christian invoking the power of the patriarchy took
I
it
wonder
took
what he has against Luchasaurus,
who
because
knows?
Luchasaurus was heartbroken to give him that freaking contract.
Yeah. And so Christian Cage ended up cashing in on a down Edge after the post-match beatdown and has regained the TNT Championship. So he is your new and current
He's the first ever, I think he's the first ever 3-time
champion.
TNT champ. No, Sammy was. So he's tied with Sammy for the most reigns as TNT
I'm
champ.
not mad at that.
He's tied with Sammy for like the most TNT championship reigns.
Okay,
And
and then the
it,
next match is go ahead.
yeah, I think if we ever have somebody else who's like, I would like to try professional wrestling, like I would like to try and watch it, I think that's one of the matches that I'll be like, all right, just sit back, relax, and let me show you this. Both of these men are in their
Mhm.
50s. They have families. There's a dinosaur that's gonna appear. Like that's all I can tell somebody is like, let me show you
Yeah.
this.
And he's not the dad, but he is the dad of these two people. He's the
He's
dad of
everybody's
everyone
dad.
he's everyone's dad.
He's my dad. He's your dad. He's everyone's dad.
And then the next match is Eddie Kingston and John Moxley in the championship final of the AEW Continental Classic.
Fucking love that. Okay, so let me say this: the fact that we didn't need flashy moves, we didn't need anything like that. It
It
was
was
just
a real
literally,
jujitsu fight.
it was two men beating each other down, 100%. Freaking Eddie Kingston torpedoing into headfirst, literally into the guardrail. Like I loved it. I thought it was perfect. It's everything that this Continental Classic meant. The only question I have now is where does the title go from here? And because it is a triple crown tournament, what happens if their partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling goes a different way? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
risky using another promotion. Of course, he can use Ring of Honor because he owns Ring of Honor. but like using the New Japan Strong open weight title is kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't
it'll
know
be
how I felt about that.
interesting. It'll be interesting. It's kind of a building story with Eddie Kingston. He's kind of riding
Golden years.
his wave of ROH world title-ness. So
He's watch he beats Samoa Joe for longest reigning Ring of Honor world champion, and he's
bruh.
barely had any defenses.
That would be hilarious.
I'd be like, wow, that
Hey, we might get Joe versus Eddie.
ugh, that's not gonna be a good. Joe's too good in of shape for the age he is. There's a lot of people I'm like, I don't
Yep.
want them to. I want Swerve to be world champion, but Joe has the title. I want Wardlow to be champion. Joe has the title. And Joe's a fresh champion, which means he's going to be a champion probably for a very long time.
As you had hinted, it was Samoa Joe and MJF by technical submission.
We haven't seen that in so long. I think in like professional wrestling in general, like main
Yeah, it
stage.
was a weird one because even like I kind of like,
Winsberg
wait,
was
what?
like threw everyone
Everyone was
off.
kind of like, what the hell's going on? Like, what?
I know because
He just
so when
dropped.
so when Rimsberg dropped the hand for the third time, I looked at Chris and your hands just went like because your immediate reaction, I know it was like ring the bell, but calm down, dude. Everybody was kind of like, oh no, what happened? This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen in AEW other than if it's like Continental Classic matches or like anything. This
Hmm.
doesn't happen in pay-per-views. Nobody
Yeah, I
gets
know.
submitted in a pay-per-view.
Now the match as a whole was pretty good. MJF selling the arm injury, the shoulder injury, Joe attacking the arm and shoulder, brutalizing that spot with the muscle buster on the apron. Ooh,
I was
dude.
like, I just looked at Morgan and I was like, we just witnessed a murder. Like that's all
Yeah.
that we're witnessing at this point.
And then so that all leads up to the biggest swerve post match. There's a beatdown going on. Devil's Minions show up. Adam Cole gets in the mix. Mind you, Adam Cole was ringside for this. And so they get both trapped between between the four minions, and Adam Cole is like, hit me instead of MJF. I'm his friend, etc., etc. And then lights go out. Lights come back on, and Adam Cole sitting on the chair with four
With the
devils.
four devils, which end up being
The
the
Kingdom.
the Kingdom and Wardlow.
Yep.
You betrayed me, big guy. I had so much faith in you.
And the storytelling in this was so good, where MJF is like pleading, like, I trusted you. It was like Sith, it was like Anakin Obi-Wan style. I have the high ground now.
And now, so Adam Cole throws the devil mask onto MJF, and that is how we end the pay per view with them standing tall over MJF. And we're like, well, my first thought was the moment that MJF lost by submission, so he didn't lose by pin, I was like, dude's gone. And I could be right. I could be right in general in a way to where I'm like, he's gone to get surgery, but also like the way that it ended, and they wrote the way that it ended with the Devils attacking MJF and Adam Cole standing over it, you're writing somebody off. Whether it
Yeah.
be for a while or for a short bit, you are writing somebody off. Um So I'm not 100% sure. I do know that he needs to have a little minor surgery. So I wouldn't say Rumble. If he is signed, I'd say like honestly with rehab and that repair, he could be back in Philly. But that's fantasy booking at this point. We have no idea. We're gonna wait throughout
Mm,
today, tomorrow, even Monday. We could probably get an update and see what the contract negotiation is. So 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, the night that BTE was gonna come out, I stayed up until it was like 2 in the morning to finally
mhm.
get to see the video of BTE where they announced All Elite Wrestling and Double or Nothing. And I have that feeling that I'm gonna have to stay up till 2 in the morning again to be like, where's he going? Because he's a hot commodity no matter what. Wherever you
Yep.
are, whether it be Impact Wrestling, which he wouldn't go to, WWE, which I'm like, Paul could use him well. And the story between him and CM Punk.
Oh no, the story between him and Cody.
Oh no, that would be perfect. Um, like overall, he there's one place he does fit, but it really depends. And I hate to say it like that, but it really does depend on where he goes. And for me, I'm gonna be glued to my phone. Normally on Sundays, I'm glued to my phone because of football. I'm gonna be glued to my phone because I am very curious to see what the next step is for MJF in this
The
situation.
bidding war of 2024
The bidding
has
war of
begun.
it. It's gonna kick off, and it's gonna be interesting. Like I think that he is injured. Like everybody has to take that into account. He is injured. He is messed up. So
I still feel like he should chill from wrestling for a while.
yeah, like
That's an
he is
interest.
injured, but I don't know. I'm waiting for like the updates to the media scrum. But weird enough is I guess the media scrum YouTube channel, the comments were turned off.
Interesting.
So I wonder how much hate uh people are worried about. And Britt Baker, I told you guys I'm not the devil, I'm the bully, remember? So everybody's
That's
like,
true.
"Oh, okay, we're getting the Chris Danger. Say it ain't so, Chugs." I I I like it. I think it's cool. I think the fact that, you know, we've gotten to
It's
see
all the Jericho. Oh, the
it's
Jericho
it's
talk.
all the Jericho stuff that people are like
Yeah.
mentioning right now, which surprisingly hasn't caught much fire since
Attention.
this morning.
Yeah. It was
So
quelled. Even
I don't
I didn't know about it. You told me
I
about it.
I
So
had to tell you. So it's calmed down. It went from being a fire to not really being too much. Most of the time people were making fun of his little comment about NDAs about the fallout or the call out, fallout, brawl out from All Out.
mm,
So that's what a lot of the people were talking about, but nobody else has talked about the situation that happened. Hopefully, we don't have
forever
to worry about that too
NDAs.
much. NDAs. Jericho, if he only read the book, if he only read the manual, if he only paid attention, then maybe he wouldn't have made a stupid comment like that. But
Yeah.
where would you like? What would you say this pay per view was this year?
How were we ranking?
1 through 10.
Mm, it wasn't good as All Out Wembley.
Nothing's gonna be as
Was it
good.
as good as Grand Slam?
Yeah, Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, because of the Edge match. So I would
Yeah,
have to say I give it a solid 8-1.
I'll give it a 6. And that 6 solely goes into uh the the whole Edge match really. And the fact that like a lot of people got to shine at this pay-per-view, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like Wrestle Dream where we got Edge. It wasn't
Mhm.
like Full Gear where we saw uh what's his name? Swerve basically kill Hangman. It wasn't All in London. It wasn't any of that. It was just a decent little pay-per-view. Mostly like I see why he did it business wise. Get everybody who's home for the holidays to go watch a wrestling pay-per-view and, culminate um the a storyline that needed to come to an end because your top babyface is refusing to re-sign a contract. So I see why it was done. I mean, look, the NFL has gone 2 weeks of doing Saturday games. It's a business, so I understand why it was. I was just like, it wasn't great.
I think it's because of the devil being Adam Cole, and there wasn't a lot of good surprises often, other than Samoa Joe winning. Samoa Joe winning was believable, but I think it was more so eh, like heavy-handed on how he won.
Yeah.
Like Samoa Joe can dominate and he is a monster, I would say. How he won works. It works. So,
So you pointed it out, and I think that's where AEW beats WWE is the callbacks because they can do callbacks from every company.
mhm.
So you pointed out that Taz mentioned that he used to manage Samoa Joe. And
Yes.
what did you say? That was the first time he used the coquina clutch.
Yep.
And that's how he won. So when you said that, my first thought was if he gets it locked in, he's winning.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it.
Nation I want Nation of Violence, Joe.
We're probably not gonna get that. The face paint and all that. No. But overall, it was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I think that AEW is going to be facing a lot of backlash because of it. I think that
Yeah, I can see
wherever
it.
wherever MJF decides to go in the next few days will either be good or bad for AEW. Um, Overall, I don't know how to feel. Like I don't know where a lot of these stories are going. And I think maybe that was Tony Khan planning it because we have 2 months of no pay-per-views before Revolution. So,
That could be true. But
I
the
don't know.
landscape is ever so changing in the world of wrestling, so
Well, the
you
professional.
never know what the hell is happening now. It's not as predictable as it was like 2, 3 years ago. It still is, but it's not as is.
The only thing that's really predictable is like Roman right now is probably the most predictable thing. And
Yeah.
we know Philly's the last stop for the tribal chief for a while. But that's all I got to say on AEW's first annual World's End pay-per-view. I think that a lot of, wrestlers getting their time in the spotlight was cool. I think that we needed one last pay-per-view before we go in because we go from World's End and then we go straight to Monday Night Raw day 1 where we are supposed to have a mystery former WWE champion. And I don't think it's a man.
Do you
Well, I think we'll have a woman. I think we'll have
do you
some
think it's AJ?
could be. If it's AJ Lee, WWE won already in January.
Yeah.
Day 1, literally. They won. But I hope you guys You know what? No, we're not. We're not done yet. So, do you have any final thoughts?
I thought it was a good pay-per-view. It ended off with a question mark for the year for me. Like it's gonna keep me. It's gonna keep me tuned in to watch the next AEW. And so I am curious as to what happens in the next 2 months. So until Revolution, but also Revolution is probably going to be painted around Sting, though.
Yeah,
So who knows?
and Ric Flair.
Ugh, Woo energy, am I right?
Bro, I do want to try it. I do want to try it. I do want to try some Woo energy. I don't know. I do want to try it though. I think that I would. I don't know. Isn't it like THC infused?
Probably it. I feel like if you drink Woo energy, you're gonna start slapping your. You're gonna start strutting. You're gonna start just taking your clothes off and elbow dropping your shirt in the middle of that room.
I'm gonna be elbow dropping the cats.
And then you're gonna woo at everything. Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Just hope your blood alcohol level is ready.
we are done for this evening. Unfortunately, we are done for the year. Thank you guys for sticking with us this long. Thank you guys for allowing us to do this and supporting us with this. We will see y'all once
It's
again.
the end of the world as we know it.
Yes, we will see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great and safe New Year's. And who knows what will happen on Monday Night Raw, day 1. Later, guys. But I'm going to do one more thing before we go out.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Time. Hey. In the